Hi, my name is Travis Lindsay, and I am here for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State Fullerton. And one of the things that I've always noticed in my life is that, hey, there's somebody that I meet at like a party or maybe at work or at some other place, and I wanted to know more about them. And I've always, had that issue, and there really hasn't been a good solution. But the person I'm speaking with today, along with many of her family members, thinks that they've come up with that solution. So, Marlene, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Drop Socials, which might be the cure to missed connections?
That was a great intro, Travis. Thank you. My name's Marlene. I'm a CSUF alumni. And yeah, so Drop Socials, I mean, exactly how you stated it. We're trying to cure misconnections. Essentially, we've developed an app that lets you connect with the people in your vicinity. I like to say, if you can see me, you can drop me. So whether you're at a party, a bar, a networking event, you should be able to see them on your drop screen and connect, exchange socials with the click of a button. So that's essentially the basics of it.
Did you come up with the idea, or was it one of the other founders?
So the runner here is my brother-in-law. He's our CEO, Adrushan. It was kind of he had different he had different ideas, and it was all just kind of leading towards this one. And when it clicked, and we were all on board. I mean, it's really his baby, his dream, and we're all here to make sure it happens.
Right. And so, what do you see as the most important, like end goal for this business? Where do you see yourself in like a year, in 5 years? And I believe that are you in beta right now, beta testing?
Yeah, we're in beta testing. We're going to be on the App Store hopefully by the end of this month. So
Cool.
we're right there. Yeah.
So where do you see the Drop Socials in a year?
In a year, I mean, we're starting with college campuses. So in a year, I hope that this really just spreads exponentially and we are, on campuses everywhere and, around campuses. Like people in that age group are all using Drop to connect with everyone. Ideally, that would be where we're at in a year.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think college campuses are a great fit. I mean, that's how Facebook got its start, and really, colleges, universities, they're small towns. I had an uncle
Yeah.
who lived in Oklahoma for a while, and basically, Norman was a town whenever school was in, but when the summer came, everybody left. And I know at Cal State Fullerton, there's like 50,000 students. So basically, there's as many students at Cal State Fullerton as there are people living in Greenland. And uh, you see a lot of people and you think, hey, that person looks interesting. Maybe they'd be a good fit as a boyfriend or girlfriend, or as a member of some organization that you're in, or maybe, just help with studying.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you just, for whatever reason, you aren't able to walk over to them at that moment and say hello, but, with Drop Socials, you'll be able to find out who they are and, strike up a relationship. And I think that that's a great thing because that's missing a lot in social media now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like social media has developed in a way that doesn't actually bring us together. So the original hope was that it would bring everybody together everywhere, and we would all be happier. But that hasn't necessarily happened. So Drop
It's
Socials
interesting.
is the solution to that, right?
It's a weird paradox with social media, but I think this issue has existed forever. I mean, it's never been easy to approach somebody. There's always anxiety and fear. You know, Now, I mean, we're in line at a coffee shop and everybody's on their phone or they have their earbuds in and they don't take them out until they get to the cash register. But even back then, it's just, even when we didn't have our phones, of course, people were more comfortable maybe, but I think that anxiety and fear has always been there. I think it's grown, but it's an issue that's been around for a long time.
Right. So, what happens after you do connect with somebody on Drop Socials? Is there a way for you to keep that new relationship going, or is it basically just, hey, I saw this person across the hall. I find out who he or she is, and then that's the end of it.
So we're basically, I like to think of us as the middleman. So if I see somebody, let's say I'm at a coffee shop, at the coffee shop in Mahalo, and they're at the front of the line, I'm at the end. I can't go up to them, but I'm overhearing their interaction with the cashier, and I like their enthusiasm. So I open up my Drop app and I can see the people who are closest to me at the top of my screen. So it's all based off of how far they are from you. I find the person, if they're on private, it'll just say drop now, and I can send them a drop request. If they approve my drop request, then I can see their socials. So I can connect with them on Instagram, on TikTok, on Snapchat, however, whatever applications they use. So again, we're just kind of a middleman. We're letting you find the people around you and connect with them on their socials.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that is great. I mean, one of the things that growing up when I did, I mean, I'm almost 40 now, so pretty much ancient for everybody who is a student
Hardly.
at Cal State Fullerton. Oh, I mean, it's completely ancient, and if anything, that the age at which you become ancient has gone down over the last few years because the culture changes so much. But there used to be somebody who back in the olden days, would introduce people to each other, right? And that has kind of gone away in a lot of our lives. So Drop Socials sounds like a great solution for something like that. You're basically the Uber introducer of people, basically, right?
Wingman.
Yeah,
I really like how you laid that out. That's exactly, yeah. That's exactly what it
perfect.
is.
So you brought up Mahalo, and that got me thinking about school. I first got over my trauma from being a student and a professor and all that other stuff, and I'm interested to hear about your take. So were you an entrepreneurship student?
I was, yeah.
All right. So did you have a good education there, a bad education there, somewhere in between?
I loved it. I love being a student. Um, I would, I'm not a morning person at all, but I would go to Mahalo right when it opened. Like I'd be there at 6:30
Wow.
in the morning, and I would have classes spread out. What my last year, especially, I would have classes spread out through the day. So I'd have maybe a 8 o'clock class, so I'd get there super early so I could find parking,
Hmm.
hang out in Mahalo, and I loved it. I loved being in that building. And then I would have class up until 10 o'clock at night. So, I mean, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I was there all day. But I
Those
loved it.
are
I really liked it a lot. It was one of the only places I could, focus. I still lived with my family, so it was just constant chaos at home. So it was nice. I would get there super early. I would have my headphones on, and I don't know if it's set up like that now, but the little booths, I would, steal one for myself, and somebody would come up to me and want to share the booth with me, and I had my headphones, like my huge Sony headphones on, and I'd get scared because, I didn't hear them, talking to me. So perfect example. I was very much not approachable before 10 a.m.
yeah.
Great time
No,
to drop me. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And the people I met, and I mean, my professors, the fact that I'm still in touch with them, it was a great experience for me.
yeah. First, my first thing that I noticed from what you were just saying was that I'm shocked to learn that the Mahalo building is open at 6:30 in the morning. Uh, I did
I've
not
gotten there
realize.
before and it was still closed. I don't know if it was during finals. That was pretty bad, but
Yeah, even though I worked there for almost a decade, I don't think I ever actually got a key to the building. So there were a couple of times during my tenure there where I got to work and I was locked out of the building, and that was a bit frustrating,
yeah,
because even though it's California and the coldest it ever gets there is, in the 50s, it could be a little cold at 6 in the
it's
morning.
freezing for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, right now it is 54 here where I'm at in Texas, and it might get down to about 32. So that's, I think, literally freezing. But
Oh my gosh.
you know, it's bearable. So, how has your or how, yeah, how has your education in entrepreneurship from Cal State Fullerton helped you so far with Drop Socials?
I mean, it's funny because I saved my notebooks and I find myself I'll call my mom sometimes and I'll be like, "Can you go to my room? Can you grab this notebook?" And and I don't know why I haven't brought it to my house here because I'm constantly calling them, just looking for former notes for pitching to investors and things like that. I mean, everything, it was so relevant. And I wish I could have absorbed all of it. I mean, if I could have downloaded my notebooks, that would have been great. Um, we're not there yet. Maybe in the future we'll be able to download all our information into our brains. But I mean, everything, truly everything that I did, especially in the last 2 semesters of entrepreneurship. I mean, all the consulting positions, everything. I find myself going back to everything that I learned. So they really set me up well.
Yeah, and one of the things that I know uh, people could either really love or hate were those consulting projects. You know, I saw them
They
from
were tough.
they are, yeah, and I interacted with them every which way that you possibly could, as a student, as a mentor, as a professor. What do you think about them now? I mean, it's only you must have graduated just in December, right? Or it's been a couple months, right?
It's been a while.
It's been a
I
while. Okay.
graduated in so my last semester was the winter of 28 or sorry, spring of 20. Oh my gosh, when was it? End of 2018.
Oh, okay.
Technically my graduation was beginning of 2019. So it was the fall of 2018. That was my last semester.
Okay.
Um so yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, the consulting gigs were great. I actually started working with one of them right after I graduated. So I mean I mean it set me up for my career too.
Right. So, and was that a good experience?
Yeah, it was great. It was a company called Podetize. They were our marketing um for consulting for our marketing class. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I met so many people. I got to travel. Worked on really cool events. It was great.
Absolutely. Yeah. The main thing that I've came to value from those consulting projects was that they were real, right? I mean, you were
Yeah.
working with a real business, so it wasn't just something from a book, and then you whip out a Scantron or one of those blue books where you write down your essays. I
Oh,
don't
I
even
got
know if.
like traumatized.
Well, I mentioned trauma earlier. I wasn't joking. That was serious. I mean, it's just it can't even sleep sometimes because of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a much better experience, right? When you actually are doing it, as opposed to just
Oh, for sure.
filling in bubbles. Okay, so you'd say that the education there has helped you in some way.
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay,
a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
okay.
Very
Uh,
much. It's very much helped me. And I'm so grateful for the connections that I've made and the fact that, my professors still want to talk to me and, hear about the business I'm working on.
That's good. That's good. I heard you bring up investors. So is this something that you're okay talking about, or?
To There was a pitch event and I attended it and that was the first time I felt like I was in front of sharks, and they just if you know, took a second too long to think or to answer a question, they just, chewed you out. It was tough. So I go back to that memory often, and I think that really set me up well for how to, speak to investors or just even pitch to anybody. Um, you know, to be respectful of people's time and understand that, you know, they're just being blunt because they want to get to the dang point. So I guess, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, from the investor's perspective, I mean, it takes a lot of time, because
Yeah.
you're reviewing probably hundreds of businesses a year. depending on what kind of investor you are. And there's a big difference between angels and VCs. I
Yeah,
mean,
of
where you
course.
guys are at right now, it's probably going to be angels to start off with. And then when as the business grows, probably in a couple of years, it'll be more like the VCs or larger angel groups that will be investing probably a couple $1 million in the business, if not more. But yeah, I mean, it takes a ton of time, and when somebody who is pitching you doesn't, seem like they know what they're talking about, it's easy enough to move on to the next one because,
Yeah,
there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people looking for funding every day. So yeah,
absolutely.
it's tough. It's tough business, but you guys are doing pretty good with it right now, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we've been fortunate to be able to practice with, you know, people that people that we're connected to. I mean, we spoke to you guys, JJ. Um, so we've been, getting feedback from a lot of like experienced people or people who are, connected to other members of the founding team. So that's been great. It's been really good.
Perfect, perfect. So, how can people find out more about yourself and Drop Socials?
You can find me on Drop in about a couple weeks.
In a couple
um,
of weeks. Okay. Is there a URL where people can sign up so that they get notified once it goes live?
yes, yes. So you can go to dropsocials.com and there's a wait list there. You can enter in your phone number and you'll get an alert the minute we're up. We also have an Instagram, drop.socials. You can find us there. LinkedIn and Facebook, but most of our information is going to be on our website and on Instagram.
Perfect. Yeah, we have an event that is a collaboration with a number of other universities and organizations in the SoCal area coming up April 19th, called SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship.
Oh
There
my
should
gosh.
be a few hundred people there at the Titan Student Union. So I think Drop Socials would be, like perfect for that kind of a
That sounds
situation.
awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about that. Maybe we can, you know, uh, get something going there. I think that'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Last question before I let you go.
All right.
What advice would you give yourself, or a student or somebody else who's just getting ready to start a business? What advice would you give?
Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. I think there were so many sleepless nights and it just it catches up to you. And if you don't sleep, you're not going to do well. So you got to I mean, you got to take care of yourself so that you can take care of the business, and by all means that doesn't mean stop hustling. You got to push. It's going to be tough, it's going to be painful, but yeah, just remember to drink water and sleep, get the bare necessities. um but yeah, definitely it's there's a balance there and it takes a lot of time to find it, but don't push yourself too hard. Give yourself a break.
All right, Marlene, wise words. Drink water, get some sleep, and and work your butt off to start a business. All right,
Yeah,
thank you
pretty
very
much.
much, Marlene. And if there's anything else that we could ever do for you, just please let us know. And are you open to connecting with people like on LinkedIn or beyond Drop
Absolutely.
Socials? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll put that down in the notes for the video. And thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.